Hey. So this was just kind of out of nowhere, just like the Xenoblade 3 trailer. They kind of just dropped a release date trailer out of nowhere for Splatoon 3. And yeah, this may be a little weird and not fit my channel, but I had did an analysis trailer, like analysis video of the initial reveal trailer for Splatoon 3. So I just, why not do it for this one? I haven't done the Return of the Mammalians one like I said I would, but it's kind of dead now. But this is a special video because another collab, what? And it's with a very special guest, the homie Prez. Okay, this man is like my bestest friend. Okay, this man I've been friends with this guy since high school, like years and years ago. And we don't live in the same state anymore, but still kept in touch with him. He's like the only person I kept in touch with from Colorado. But that's not important right now. What is important is that we get on with this analysis trailer, okay? Analysis video. So I'm going to be covering the first half of this trailer, and the homie Prez over here is going to handle the second half. So without wasting any more time, let's actually go. Also, the link to his channel will be in the description, of course, and in the end card. But first of all, we get a ton of new information here right off rip. We got a more dynamic camera angle, and up in the top left, there's like a little camera icon. This could just be dev stuff, and this is most likely dev footage, and there will be indications later on. But here, the shows you the name of each player on each side, like on each team, and they have titles and like little numbers. In the bottom left corner, they have hashtag with 4 numbers. I don't know what that is supposed to be. I mean, look, it's their Discord names. But no, Big Money Mana Wardrobe Regular, Faithful Seaside Superfan, Southpaw Champ, 3rd Gen Ringleader, and then on the right, Clocked Out Turf Warrior, Inkless Office Drone, Splatsville Fashionista, and an Attention Seeking Bass Dropper. See, if anything, I'd be a Southpaw Champ because I am a Southpaw. I'm left-handed, so gang. But new map, Eel Tail Alley, Eel Tail. Say that 3 times quick. Eel Tail Valley. Yeah, this place looks huge, and I'm pretty sure this is the map we saw in like the first trailer, or at least no, this is not. Never mind. Ignore that. And yes, if you don't remember, we have a new way of spawning into the match. Spawn in on these little spawn pods right here instead of the spawn point. At the beginning of a match, we have these little pods where we shoot down from, and we get to choose where we want to land. And returning weapons, specials, and subs, I will mention those once we actually get to those in the actual match. But yeah, new spawn points. Right here, we can choose where we want to land. There's no longer a spawn point. If you remember in the original announcement trailer, there was a spawn point covered up on one of the maps, but there is no spawn point here. So maybe they were just trying out the like pods to see what the reactions were to them in the first trailer, and then they realized, oh, everyone likes these spawn pods, let's just get rid of the spawn points and completely scrap them. But no, there's a lot of information here already. D-pad is still this way in Booyah. Doesn't look like we have anything for the left and right D-pad. The UI overall just looks a lot more, it's a lot more refined and different. X is still the map. Up in the top right, you see the points still, specials, and the sub weapons. And if you notice, it'll be a lot more clear later on, but the special gauge is no longer like a smooth bar. It's more of like these little nodes that you fill up. So I don't know if it still fills up like a smooth bar or if it fills one block at a time. But that's different. And if you look at the special itself, I'm pretty sure that's ink missiles. No, yeah, those are ink missiles, I think they're called. It's a Splatoon 1 special. I haven't played Splatoon 1, so I know almost nothing about it. I just play a shit ton of Splatoon 2. But there was this special in Splatoon 1 called Ink Missile, I think, where like you shoot it and then it forms this giant, like this massive, what was it? Yeah, so it was Ink Missile, and it shot up and it created basically this giant pillar of ink. And here, this is the new map, Eeltail Alley. It looks really nice. It looks like swim speed up is going to be very important on this map, at least for splat zones, because it takes a little bit. It takes a minute to get to the center of the map, and especially for stuff like tower control and splat zones, getting to the center of the map is very important. Also for Rainmaker. So, I mean, assuming all the game modes are back from Splatoon 2, and hell, maybe we might even have some new game modes on top of that. But yeah, ink tanks are different too, and as I was talking about, you can see up in the top right, that is a special gauge, and it has a different layout. Now weapons, new weapons, or returning weapons, and a new one. At the top of the screen, for the yellow team, we have a redesigned Slosher, Octobrush is back, a new redesigned Splatter Shot, a brand new weapon with the bow, which we'll see some use of it later. And then on the purple side, that is a Splatter Shot Pro. I'm pretty sure that's a Forage Splatter Shot Pro. Based on the colors, we have 52 gal, Splat Roller, and a Splat Charger. Yeah, so that might just be a regular Splatter Shot Pro, because I think the Forage also has like an orange tip on it. Okay, so the music's also different. If you hear that, the music is a lot different, and later on we'll hear like a remixed version of Now or Never. It sounds a lot different. Splatoon 2, if you listen to Splatoon 1 and 2, if you listen to their Now or Never, you can hear they sound very similar. And Splatoon 2 is just pitched lower than Splatoon 1. Here, it was like really hard to recognize some of the key like melodies in it. I don't know, maybe I wasn't listening hard enough, but it does sound a lot different. Here, Pres goes over this. Pres like explains this special right here more later on in his section, so I'm not gonna go over that right now. But Splash Wall is back. So Splash Wall comes back as a sub weapon. I don't know if they're scrapping any subs or specials, or maybe they're adding like everything from the first two is all coming back into the third game, because it looks like a lot of games are doing that. Smash Ultimate brought back all the characters and stages. Everyone is here. Xenoblade 3 brings a lot from 1 and 2 into 3, so maybe Splatoon 3 is doing the same, and hell, maybe even Bayo 3 is doing the same. There's a lot of 3 games coming out this year. But yeah, Splash Wall is back. And here we actually see when somebody dies, it has like a new little splat icon with like the dead squid inside of it. Funnily enough, maybe, no, I just realized when a squid dies, it shows a squid icon, and then when an octoling dies, it shows an octopus little symbol. I said when a squid dies, when an inkling dies, it shows the squid, and when an octoling dies, it shows the octopus. And it has this little X to show you where exactly you died from. Okay, here, this part is really like hella weird. I still don't know what it is, but this Splattershot Pro. They are no, yeah, their sub weapon. I have no idea what that is, but it's kind of like a laser flashlight type thing. It looks like a highlighter. Now that I look at it, I don't know what that could be, but he like throws it and it just zooms across the map. And I think it looks like it sticks to that bow user over there. So I don't know what the hell that could be, but new special crab tank, which I will explain once he actually uses it. Yeah, if you see right there, he kind of just like, phew, like threw that shit on the bow user. So that could be some type of like zip line, maybe, or it could be like a sub where you throw it and if it sticks, it like drains ink out of the ink tank. That would be really cool to see. And down here we see Inkzooka. I don't know if this is new or if it's from Splatoon 1, but Inkzooka is in this game and it looks like you have only 3 shots of it. Because every time you take a shot, one of those little yellow tanks come off of it. But yeah, it shoots out like these 3 massive balls of ink twirling together in like a triple helix. And if you look down at the bottom, the little splatted tag, it shows he's splatted. That has like a new design. It's more rectangular now and it has little design over on the right. I just thought that was a really nice attention to detail along with the splat. So it shows who you splatted. Right here you can see the Octoling got splatted and it shows them in a purple splatter with like lines going through it. So the attention to detail to this game is really, really nice. Here we see, I don't know if this was in the last 2 games, it may have been, but here you can see when the charger is like fully charged, it has like this purple glow around it, around the weapon. It's like this hazy glow around it until it shoots. That's may have been in previous 2, I don't remember, but this new, I don't know if this is a sub weapon or a special. It looks more like a sub weapon, but we have like a force field now, which will be very, very annoying. You could just sit on tower, have your whole team, like if everyone was all rocking these sub weapons, you could throw down a force field on the tower. As soon as that expires, have someone else throw one down and just have an infinite cycle of force fields on the tower and basically be unstoppable. That would be hella annoying, but it looks like you can destroy it if you shoot the, basically like the machine on top. At the top of the force field, we'll see later in the trailer, is actually like a little machine that the force field comes out of. It looks like you can shoot and damage that, because if you just had this impervious force field that you had to wait on, that would not be too fun. And I'm guessing the opposing team can't swim through or like walk through the force field. You might be able to, so because if it like kept you out, if you couldn't walk through it, and that would be very broken, especially with like the tower setup, I thought. So if you shoot it, obviously your shots won't go through, but I'm pretty sure if you walk through it and get on the other side, you can shoot whoever's in there. So it may not be as broken as as I thought or making it out to be. And new splat details. So when you get splatted by someone, the buttons on the bottom left still ouch and booyah, and it shows you what weapon you got splatted by, and it shows you the gear of the opponent that you got splatted by. Looks like they're running special power up inks or special saver and ink recovery up, but it also shows you their name along with their 4 numbers and their title. And then just under that, the little respawn counter, it's actually like a fluid bar that fills up as just basically like a visual indicator of how long you have left to wait. I like the little attention to detail they're adding in this trailer quite a bit. And here, this is also a new type of special. Before I talk about the special, the Splat Bombs, the Splat Bombs have a different design from what I saw later on in the trailer. I don't know if those are the Splat Bombs. I assume they are, but they look like they have a different design. But this special right here is really cool. It's like some weird vacuum type of special where you can suck up enemy ink, and then once it gets full, you can like shoot it back out at them as like this electrified glob of ink, and then it explodes. This shit looks really cool right here. Like, what? Look at that shit. That shit is so dope. It's like it fills all the way up and you just shoot like electrified ink at the enemy and just this massive explosion. That shit is so cool. And here we actually get to see a look at the bow, and it charges just like a charger. And as you can see, Toxic Mist is back. The sub-weapon Toxic Mist is back. So I'm assuming they're bringing every special and sub-weapon back, and obviously they're going to change some specials and sub-weapons for certain weapons to accommodate for bringing back the ones that were cut from Splatoon 2. But here we can see we can shoot the bow either horizontally or diagonally, or horizontally or vertically. I don't know if you have to like hold a certain button to switch between the axis, but later on we can see the bow shooting horizontally when here we just saw it shoot vertically. This special is really cool. I don't know what it's called, so I'm gonna just call it like the Spider-Man special or whatever, because basically what it is, you're just like stretching your arm out, grabbing onto whatever surface and just slinging yourself. It's like a hook shot type shit, but it's really cool. But it actually acts like inkjet, because once it runs out, once the special gauge runs out, you launch back to where you activated it from, just like inkjet. And also, just like inkjet, there's a special icon that shows once you land back, like where you launched from. There's a special icon right there showing you where you launched from. Right there. And it looks like a squid either hiding in some ink or has this massive big ass shit eating smile on. But yeah, and if you notice, there is like graffiti everywhere all over these just graffiti everywhere all over this map, and it just really adds to the immersion of Eeltail Alley. And of course, yes, the bumpers are back and they're the same. They still got the turf war like X symbol. It's funny though, we've only seen pink bumpers so far, so I mean, maybe I'm just overthinking it, but there are different colored bumpers in 2 at least. I don't know about 1, and I don't see a reason why they wouldn't bring them back in 3. Here we get to see the first use of the crab tank. And if you remember from the tweets from forever ago, the crab tank can basically have like a Gatling gun. We can just rapid fire, or you can charge up for like a giant shot of ink. And you can actually like curl up and roll into a ball and roll around in the crab tank. So it's kind of like a better baller. But yeah, that's it for me. That's my half of the trailer. From here on out is going to be the homie Prez. So I'm gonna throw it on over to him, and I'll pop back up in the outro.
Hey all, Scotch Tape here, and a big thanks to my boy Paragon of Torna. He's the GOAT. He is, fucking, I don't know, can I cuss? He's probably gonna censor this out. Alright.
Yeah, it doesn't matter.
Fuck yeah, okay. Anyway, yeah, I'm gonna continue this analysis from here on forward. We're gonna start from right after the crab special weapon is. So, to not waste any more of your precious time, let's get into it. So here, ladies and gentlemen, we finally get a first good glance at the new killer whale type of special weapon. And as we can see, based on what we saw on the Salmon Run trailer, this is going to be a 6-speaker setup, unlike the original Killer Whale's 1-speaker, or rather, one big-ass speaker setup. And throughout, like, while it's activated, each speaker is going to detach one by one and act like a little laser, essentially. So it's pretty cool. It's a nice, change in comparison to the original Killer Whale that we saw both in Splatoon 1 as a special weapon and in Splatoon 2 Octo expansion when Pearl uses it on the final boss at the very end of that DLC storyline. So I really like that they brought back the Killer Whale in some form, and this is really going to shape up to call back to Splatoon 1 in, a nostalgic sort of way, because, it's been almost, 7 years since Splatoon 1 came out. This is going to be a really nice touch. However, there is something notice I do happen to see with this version that this trailer gives out. It's that, in comparison with the Salmon Run trailer, the speakers in the Salmon Run trailer do not detach for some reason. So either you have to make a manual input yourself on the controller while it's activated, or it just happens on its own and they just adjusted it, given the fact that this took place like months before this trailer came out. So I'm thinking that, it's probably going to be a manual input where you choose to detach each of the speakers, unless you want the killer whale to converge into one spot altogether. So either way, really cool special weapon. I look forward to seeing it in multiplayer matches when this game does come out, or when a test fire happens. So yeah, pretty cool. Let's continue. And this here, ladies and gentlemen, we see the return of the Ink Missile. Now, the Ink Missile, for those of you who don't know and are new to the Splatoon franchise entirely, is a special weapon from Splatoon 1. And this was exclusive to Splatoon 1 to the aspect of when you used it, you had to use the gamepad to mark where the Ink Missile would strike. Now, here in Splatoon 3, we see this weapon return, but in this game, you actually get to throw it 3 times. Now, as you saw from the trailer, you can actually make out and see that you throw it like you would like a sub weapon, like a Splat Bomb. However, this would essentially mark beacons onto the map where the Ink Missile would strike. Now, of course, these are never going to compare to the actual full-blown Ink Missile from Splatoon 1, because these are just 3 smaller versions of it that strike the map. So these will shoot a giant-ass pillar into the sky and will ink a lot of territory and maybe even take out your opponents while there. But seeing the return of the Ink Missile is actually really cool. It would have been nice if you could interact with the map to shoot just one giant Ink Missile, but either way, just the fact that they brought this weapon back is incredible. Not entirely sure if Torna covered this or not, but the new ink bow, essentially. Here in this part of the trailer, we can actually see a pretty cool looking function of the ink bow. So much like any other first-person shooter game that you've ever played, like Call of Duty, Apex, anything like that, usually the weapon like a crossbow or a bow will have like a sticky explosive on it. You can actually, this is actually the case here in Splatoon 3 as well. Because now, when you shoot with the bow, it'll shoot a charge with it that could potentially be pretty fucking lethal. I think it's a really nice touch. They're actually taking ideas from other shooter type games like Call of Duty, and I think this will like turn the tides in battle. It's actually really fucking cool. Now, ladies and gentlemen, I'm sure for many of you who have a pretty good eye at noticing these kinds of things, you probably saw this from one of the clips in the gameplay trailer. Now, here you see that there are two different D-pad options as well as A and B. Now, everyone might think that, oh, you might be able to spectate your opponent or your teammate during turf wars now, or you know, you might think something like that. Now, it's entirely possible for something like that to happen, but here's why, and Torna's going to agree with me on this one too. Here's why I think it's probably not the case. Now, this is, from what I can tell, this is more than likely a dev build of the game, meaning that a lot of these things are probably not going to make it into like the physical public copy of the game. So when you see like the D-pad like that, it kind of reminds me of the spectator mode that they used for official Splatoon 2 competitions that Nintendo hosted when the like announcers were, you know, spectating the matches. They kind of used something like this, and this was just a dev build feature that they used to make the trailer look really cool. And let's admit here, they did a pretty fucking good job of this. Now, here's pretty much the last part of the trailer, and it's basically the new results screen as well as a top-down view of the new map. This is a top-down view of the map that Torna mentioned, Eeltail Alley. Alley. Okay, I was gonna say Valley because I'm fucking stupid. But Eeltail Alley. Overall, this map looks really cool. It kind of reminds me of Urchin Underpass a bit, which if they do bring that back, it's going to make me super happy because Urchin Underpass was a great map, especially after they redesigned it. But anyway, that aside, let's take a look at the new results screen. And as we can see, you know, we still got good guys and bad guys, great continuity and everything. They brought back Judd and Lil Judd, and fucking Lil Judd looks better than ever, man. Like you can still tell they're competing a bit here. So yeah, there's not much to say about it. I mean, the map icon's the same. That little camera icon on the top left corner is for the dev mode that they're using. And really just the meter entirely just looks great. The butter is, and we'll get to this point when we get to it, is the new, like, the victory screen. And we'll cover that here in just a second. All right, and ladies and gentlemen, the bread and butter of this entire, you know, victory screen. Essentially, they're bringing, you know, achievements into the match. So, essentially, they're bringing medals, but, you know, not the medals that you're thinking of. Not, like, medals from Halo, like double kill, triple kill, killing spree, shit like that. They're bringing medals based on your performance in the match. Now, this is pretty interesting because they have medals like #1 overall splatter, which you get the most kills. number one popular target, which I'm assuming means that you are the number one person to get attacked by the other team, and number one enemy splatter, which I'm also assuming that it's that you were the number one person to get killed in the match. So each of these medals are pretty unique. Like the new animation that they have for the victory screen is also really cool, because you actually like get to see your team just like posing epically. Like this is a picture perfect moment, which is why I kind of liked stopping the video here, because this just looks so cool. It looks badass, and I really hope you know it looks just as good for the losing team, because losing can kind of suck, and it's always nice to see your team be badasses when you win. But overall, ladies and gentlemen, this is a really good trailer. We actually got a lot of information from this entire gameplay video that Nintendo provided for us. We got a release date of September 9th, which is just a few months away. It's not as much of a summer release as everyone anticipated, but hey, I'm not complaining. The longer they take developing it, the better, because that's just going to improve on the quality of the game, quality of life, and everything else. I'm really excited to see the single player aspect of this in a bit more detail, but overall, the game is fire. I am fucking excited for it, and I hope you all are too. Anyway, I'm going to toss it back to Paragon of Torna. Thank you so much for letting me be a part of this video, my boy, and fucking I hope this shit does numbers.
Yeah, so I mean that's really about it right now for this trailer. They showed us an entire turf war match, which was kind of interesting, and this game just looks so good. It looks so smooth. The art style, the resolution, like the pixel count, well not pixel count, but like polygon count is way higher. Everything just looks a lot more smooth and immersive. I cannot wait for this game. Yeah, September 9th. Look, it'd be funny if they pushed up Xenoblade 3 just so this can release in September, because we got like hella shit releasing in September. We got this now. We had Xenoblade 3. We have Trails from Zero on the 27th. So, and how much you want to bet Bayonetta 3 is going to be somewhere around September too. But I know Monolith Soft did help work on Splatoon 2, so they may be helping with Splatoon 3, and that's kind of why they pushed up Xenoblade 3 so early, so they could have more time with Splatoon 3. I don't know, but enough ranting aside, I want to give a massive shout out and thank you to the homie Pres right here. Can't thank him enough. We've been wanting to like collab on a Splatoon video, or just like a video in general, for the longest. So I mean, he has his own channel. Go check him out on his channel. His content is better than mine in most cases. His editing is insane. Shit is just funny overall to just chill and relax to. But yeah, go drop Prez some love. Go show my boy some love over there. Drop him some subscriptions over there. But yeah, that's really about it for this. Yeah, here we go again, making like a 30-minute, analysis trailer on 3 minutes. I don't know why I do this, but we're here. But yeah, that's really about it. So, as always, thanks for watching. Have a damn good day. Stay safe. Be well. Gonna play some goddamn Xenoblade.